The music provided for this episode of the Tom Retro Chronicle is brought to you by the artist called B-Age with their song called August. Check out more PodSafe music. Check out dig.ccmixter.org. A 1, a 2, a 3, 4, 5. It is the Tom Retro Chronicle with your host called Tom Retro.
Looking good, baby!
Tom Retro is also known as the Retro Guy and has a very interesting angle on things like sports, music, movies, books, and pretty much mostly life. He has a WordPress account, a very funny Twitter account, and overall a very interesting guy. Yeah. And also has very interesting interviews like me, Arnold Schwarzenegger, yeah. So let's head it to our very own very special host called Tom Retro. And welcome to the Tom Retro Chronicle. This is episode 9 of the Tom Retro Chronicle. And happy Thanksgiving! Yay! Everyone's so happy to slaughter all their happy turkeys and then eat all the stuffing and all that good stuff. Yeah, and the pudding too. Can't go wrong with the pudding too. But I am taping this on a very, very not so bright day, but I am taping this on what would be this would be eventually to be released on Thanksgiving in the early morning hours. Probably sometime around midnight, like if you're living in my area, but I'm doing a little bit something different this time around. I am taping this on a late evening. It's just a little bit past. I'm a little bit past 10:30 here in Fargo, North Dakota. It was actually one of the most warm days that you'll ever find in the upper Midwest in this time of year in November. It was almost 56 degrees out. It was like 56 degrees outside. So that is going to pretty much change by tomorrow, as tomorrow's high will be pretty much 26 degrees. Yikes! And it's supposed to be pretty blustery with snow and windy, and wind chills are gonna be quite a bit of factors, so that could be pretty interesting. So, and chances are once I wake up, I won't have that much time to post a podcast for the early morning tomorrow morning. So I am doing this earlier than I would normally. Normally I would do this about 12 hours ahead when I'm doing this right now. So expect a little gift under your Christmas or Thanksgiving turkey, and that will be this podcast. So enjoy. So in terms of podcast for this episode, there's not really that much to talk about. I guess I could talk about basketball, but college basketball is back in force, even though they're pretty much only just doing tournaments and stuff, corporate tournaments and such. But I'm not going to really get into much more detail on this, but Notre Dame is number 1. Yeah. Whoa. Woo. I'm not going to go into much more detail on it other than that. I I guess I could probably talk about the Notre Dame Fighting Irish in this podcast. But first, the most important sport of them all, NFL football. Week 12 is right around the corner, and it will be out in force on the first game, which is Detroit against the Texans. But I will save that for the next topic, which I will be doing right now. All right, Week 12 is right around the corner, as I mentioned before, and we have 3 games that are on tap for tomorrow or later today. Depends on when you get this podcast. The first game is the Texans at the Lions at Ford Field. And I am going to take the Texans in this one. And unfortunately, the Lions' history with this game hasn't been good to them for the last 9 years since the Lions have lost the matchup for 9 times for the 9th straight time last season, and I can't see them winning this one anytime pretty soon. So I'm going to take the Texans in this one. Washington at Dallas, the sleeper game. Once you swallowed all the jerky and had all the pie and stuff. Definitely keep an eye on this one. If you're still a little bit awake on this one, I am gonna actually take the Redskins. The Redskins in this one. I am daring myself quite a bit in this week, so definitely keep an eye on this one. The reason why I'm picking the Redskins in this one is basically because of RG3. And I thought, hey, why not? Why not pick a guy that had a perfect game against an inferior Eagles team? And of course, the Cowboys are just about as inferior as the rest of the teams in that division, including the Redskins. So if you're keeping an eye on this one, it might turn into a blowout. I'm not saying that the Redskins will win this thing by 10 points or more, but this one could actually go either way. So keep an eye on the Cowboys as well. So the third game, which is later that evening on NBC and on NFL Network, just to remind you, you have the Patriots going to the Jets at the new Meadowlands Stadium, or could be just called the Meadowlands Stadium since it's no longer new. But you have the Patriots being favored by 7, and I don't think Tom Brady will let off the gas on this rivalry game. And I think this one will be just as good as the last game at Gillette Stadium. It's going to be pretty good, I can tell you that much. But I just don't think the Jets will put up enough points on this one, and they won't win it. So on to the Sunday, the normal slate of games. Just to remind you that there are no bye weeks. I think last week was the last week for bye weeks. So on to the Sunday slate. Minnesota at Chicago. I will take Chicago in this one, even if Jay Keller doesn't show up in this one. I think Jason Campbell will do decent enough. I mean, he won't do anything great for the Bears, but everyone kind of seems to forget that the Bears still have a pretty good defense, and as long as their defense As long as their defense takes care of things against the Vikings, they will handily beat the Vikings at home. Oakland at Cincinnati, and I will take the Bengals. The Bengals look really good, and this is their opportunity to gain some ground on the division. With the Steelers being a quarterback down, with Big Ben dealing with his injury. So I think this is a really good opportunity for the Bengals to take a strike and take the next level and become perhaps that team that just might be a wildcard team. I'm not saying that the Bengals are a wildcard team, that they're a playoff team, but you know what, they have their opportunity. They have the opportunity to them, and I think that there's a lot of scenarios that will have to take place for them to take the second place in the division and get back to the playoffs. Let's see, another game that I kind of want to mention is Pittsburgh at Cleveland, and perhaps I might be smoking toothpaste in this one. I'm not really sure. I'm not sure what I'm thinking in this one, but I am taking the Browns for probably the first time this season. I am taking the Browns. Yep, I am taking the Browns in this one. You heard that correctly. And I don't know really the reason why. I guess I think Whedon will have a good game, I suppose, but yeah, Charlie Batch is, I don't think Charlie Batch will do great in this one, so I'll take the Browns to beat the Steelers. Knowing for the fact that the Browns are at home and not at Heinz Field, which certainly would make so much more of a difference. But another game, Buffalo at Indianapolis, and I will take the Colts as usual. And I think the Colts will find a way to rebound after their blowout loss against the Patriots last week. So the Bills are probably the best chance for the Colts to beat them. So anyway. Denver at Kansas City, and Denver, and I think the Peyton Manning's Broncos will get a win in this one very easily. And I don't think I have anything much else to say for this one. Good luck, Chiefs. Let's see. Seattle at Miami, and I will take the Dolphins because the Seahawks are awful on the road, 1-4 on the road, and I don't know. I think Ryan Tannehill will have a decent game. I think he will do all right. But you know what? They're the Dolphins. They're still a work in progress, but I still think that they will win this game. So Atlanta at Tampa Bay. I will go with Tampa in this one. I think the Falcons had a awful game, and I think they will have another awful game in this divisional matchup against the Buccaneers, and I will take the Bucs in this one. Baltimore at San Diego, and I will take the Ravens in this one. The Ravens look good in this matchup. Joe Flacco will torch the Chargers defense, and they will win by 10 points or more. Yep, I don't have anything other to say for that other than the Chargers look awful in this matchup. So, St. Louis at Arizona. This one this one has a toilet game of the week written all over it. And in terms of this one, I will take the Rams. Both of them looked really good in the season, I will admit that, but both of them will fall back down to earth after having such decent seasons, and they will do awful. So, the San Francisco 49ers go to the Superdome to take on the Saints, which looks like a really good game. It looks like the best game of the late slate of games for this week. So, Colin Kaepernick will get the start for the 49ers, in case you haven't heard. I don't know. I'm still going to take the 49ers in this one. So, yeah, I'm going to take the 49ers. And then another good game that looks really good on paper is the Packers going to New York to take on the Giants. And of course, I'm going to take the Giants in this one. So, wait, did I say the Giants? Wow, holy crap! Did I say that right? I'm going to take the Packers in this one. Haha, did I fool you once? Ha ha ha. Okay. The reason why I'm going to take the Packers in this one, I think the Packers are the hot team at the moment, and the Giants look like the team that they normally are. They look bad. They have looked awful these past few weeks, and they will find a way to lose against the Packers. So go Pack, go! Carolina at Philadelphia. I will take the. I will take the Panthers. Panthers in this one. I haven't had that much luck on picking the Panthers so far this season, and I think my luck is going to change. And I think the Panthers will win this one. God hoping. So, just to remind you, 3 games on Thursday. Almost all the games other than Monday night are on Sunday, and there will be no bye weeks. And on to the next topic. In terms of Notre Dame, the Fighting Irish football team, normally I wouldn't even mention about this because, I think it might be a jinx or something like that. But I wouldn't be a fan of the football team if I didn't even mention them. So I am a fan of the Notre Dame Fighting Irish football team. Why? Because they've been my team since I was a kid, and watching them on Saturday afternoons when I was a kid, watching. I think it was. I think who was the head coach? I think it might have been Lou Holtz's final year, which I think was 1996. Was it? So, so I've been pretty much a fan of them since really 1996. So, and I can't help but mention them. They look so good on paper. It's absolutely nuts that they are. I'm even surprised. I will be honest with you. I'm still surprised that they are even number 1, even after all that they've been through all this season, going through a new rookie quarterback in Golson, and Then you have staunch Notre Dame defense playing like the way they are right at this moment. Uh, Especially with Manti Te'o. I mean, that guy is absolutely beast, and just about any team will give him a shot at uh, being an NFL player. I think he has the goods to sell to any NFL team that needs that definitely needs a linebacker. Uh, I think one of the best game by far was the Sooner game, and everyone was talking about uh, how much, how many points were the Irish going to lose in this one, and the Irish actually won this game by I think it was 13 points, or actually it might have been 17 points maybe, but actually I think it was probably 13 points. But anyway, it was easily the best win of the Brian Kelly era, in since his coaching career started in Notre Dame, which was back in 2010, I believe. So I was definitely excited for that. So in terms of being a fan of them, being in the number one ranking, it is actually really awesome. The feeling that I had once they got the number one ranking was, I mean, we're back. We're back, baby. You know what? No one can touch us. I mean, no one can beat us so far as of yet. I mean, we still have USC to deal with, but I mean, Matt Barkley's not playing the game, and I mean, it still looks like a good game, and I still think the Irish will win out in this one, and I will gladly support them all the way to the national championship, even if they lose to it, even if they lose by 20 points, I will still love them because I still bleed navy blue and gold. Trust me. I will still bleed. I will still bleed Irish. So in terms of that, I do hope we win. I'm really excited for it. I'm definitely excited for the fact that if there is an SEC team that goes on to win the SEC title, which seems like the best picture, unless you have Florida losing out to Florida State, and then you have Alabama losing to Auburn. But I don't see those two scenarios happening anytime soon, especially with Auburn. Auburn has been pretty awful so far this season, and somehow or another Gene Chizik hasn't been fired yet from that job. So I will take. I think I will take the Irish and versus the SEC in the national title day game. Even though I think it's going to be Alabama that's going to win the SEC for the second straight year, and I'm trying to think of some other teams that could easily get into the title game. I think Georgia. I think Georgia has a pretty good chance as well. I'm definitely looking forward to playing against Alabama because I will actually admit this once. On NCAA 11, yes, I know it's from 2010. I know. I haven't updated it yet, so bear with me, okay? Okay. On the Dynasty mode, of course, I went with Irish, of course, and I think it was in my third year of playing. Playing the game. I managed to get in the BCS title game, and the opponent was Alabama. Oddly enough, and in terms of that, it was actually a really good game. I thought it was one of the more better play video games that I have played for a long time. I beat the Crimson Tide by I think it was a touchdown. So it was easily by a touchdown. So, and I'm not saying that's gonna be the case, but I'm definitely excited to see the Irish being back in a national title game, even after since 1988, which was about 10 months before I was born, and that game was against West Virginia, I think, in that 1988 national title game. I think it was West Virginia, but I'm very hopeful for the Irish. And that's pretty much me speaking as a fan. If they lose to USC, I will take the loss like a man, and I will hope for the best next season for the Irish. And I think we are back in the national spotlight. We are back, and it is pretty good, very, very good for college football that Notre Dame is back in the national stage, and I can't wait for the future. So, in terms of this podcast, I am pretty much done talking about it. So expect a new one on Tuesday, where I'll be doing more likely a week 12 recap of what happened in the league, the scores and recaps. So I will see you all next week. Thank you for listening to the Tom Retro Chronicle, and I will see you all later.